Could you be replaced in your office by a robot? Or might your partner become less interested in you and more interested in a sex robot? According to computer scientist Moshe Vardi, perhaps. At least he says we shouldn't underestimate the potential of artificial intelligence. He told the American Association for the Advancement of Science over the weekend, "I believe that society needs to confront this question before it is upon us. If machines are capable of doing almost any work humans can do, what will humans do?" To talk about some of these questions, I spoke earlier with legal and media analyst Lionel of Lionel Media.
I don't necessarily fear the superiority because you will never be able to be superior to human sentience and human aspects and our, by definition, humanity. But what scares me is that we're not talking about robots. People confuse the two. People are thinking about an assembly line where a factory worker might be replaced by some robotic. We're talking about the roboticization of human interaction, and specifically human interaction with war. A artificial intelligence situation that, for example, defines its own algorithm. And Anya, understand something. The first thing that an AI unit will want to do is to program you, is to figure out your sensibilities. And you know, whenever we talk about this, people laugh about sex robots. It's part of our infantilized world of sex, but also the way we look at the impact of this. If we continue, or if my dystopic future comes to pass, we're going to little by little separate ourselves. We're going to replace human interaction, human connectivity, human relations with that of virtual reality, a robot, Lars and the real girl. It's going to come to fruition. And with that comes basically the end of civilization and humanity as we know it.
Well, that's so dark, Lionel. I mean, I'm sitting here thinking you talked about war, so my first thought is, well, we already seem to be partially there with the drone war where the president can have a kill list and we don't need boots on the ground. We can send out a machine, though there's still a human being, I guess, behind it to some degree. How can we stop this from getting any further then if the outlook is so dark as you've outlined?
The first thing we have to do is we have to stop and we have to become an adult about this. That may be a taller order than anybody can imagine. We need somebody to listen to Stephen Hawking and Elon Musk and others who are saying, wait a minute, let me repeat. Maybe if we could just distill it into one little bumper sticker, one phrase. Robots are one thing, artificial intelligence is another. A robot is great. It gets rid of the drudgery. The little robot that vacuums your apartment, that's wonderful. I'm not talking about that. That's not what I'm getting at. I'm talking about something that replaces human sentience, human morals, human, maybe we shouldn't do this, judgment, things that are prototypically and actually human. And I'm saying it again, when you introduce an algorithm, I mean, imagine the worst virus in the world, the worst Trojan horse, something that gets into our military system and takes over. And then one day, when somebody's pushing the button to recall that drone strike, to recall that battalion of Hellfire missile launchers, and you push and it says, we've taken over. This is Asimov. This is iRobot. We've been talking about this since the beginning of time. And unfortunately, I fear it's going to come to fruition unless we do something now. And the first thing we can do is stop thinking that it's cool and use our heads and grow up.
We should also note that anything that requires an algorithm usually requires more surveillance and data collection as well. So that was Emmy Award-winning legal and media analyst Lionel of Lionel Media. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's it for now. For more on the stories we covered, go to YouTube.